Welcome to my podcast. It's my podcast. Episode what? 27, I suppose. Um, Today I got a little guest with me today. His name is RedRage. That's what he is legally going by in real life. Changed it at the local office, and it's all good. How are you, the
I'm
boy?
doing good.
It's terrible. So sorry to hear. Who are you? Who the F are you, huh?
Yeah, I'm Perks or RedRage. I've been in the streams for quite some time, on and off.
Hmm. And what, so you think you're God or something?
No, absolutely not. It's,
Fair enough. So you're much more of an old fan, all the way back to when I was on the YouTube sphere and all that.
that's true. Indeed, I was.
Well, how are you doing? I know you said you're good, but how good we talking? Anything new happening in life? Are you doing good? Are you trying anything new out? What's happening with
Well, recently applied to a job and see if I'm trying to or I'm gonna get it. Just waiting.
what kind of job is it?
Retail, night
Ooh,
shift.
oh, that's a good one. At least night shift isn't. I've kind of been a night shift guy myself. A lot less hectic, I feel like.
Less people.
Less little fucking annoying people that get all up in your business.
That's very true. I'm hoping for it.
Cool. Any reason why you're choosing to get a little retail job?
Um, I guess it's like for me, it's like a safe space, I guess, quote unquote. It's just like safer for me to do because I tried doing automotive for tire technician
Yeah.
a few months back in September. That didn't go well, so
Was it more of like it didn't feel good to you, or was it more of like kept spilling oil all over the place? Something?
no. I guess the best way to put it is I put so much of myself into it that I broke down after a while, and I once the day was one of those days was done, for example, it's a little bit more personal story. I don't think it's the best one to share here, but I'll share it anyway. Let's do it. Um, Basically, I peed myself. I straight just first time doing that in a long time since a little man, little boy,
Little boy.
and
Was it
it was caught on cam, so I don't know if they cared or not, but
right?
it was pretty embarrassing.
That's
So
understandable.
it showed stress. I
Yeah.
think.
I was about to ask you, was it because of the stress of the job, thinking like, I know some people are like they get their dream job, but then, they are so kind of anxious that they're gonna screw it up and it's gonna just go wrong or something. Was it anything like that, or was it
Yeah,
something else?
and then I was on top of another pressure where it's like this 25-year-old is just picking at me every day,
Right.
talking crap on my back, and I'm like, okay,
That's not
you're
good.
you're you're 25, I'm 18, you're talking crap. All right, buddy. All right, buddy.
Would you say you don't do well with conflict from others?
No, I don't.
Right. And that's the thing as well, is that I don't think anyone really does well with conflict at all. But I know that there's a lot of people that can, they got that thick skin and all that they're like, whatever, forget about it. Whereas more people take it a lot more personal. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I think it's just it's a bit of a tough situation. You know. it's having to deal with something like that. And I don't personally know exactly what they were, talking shit about or, teasing you for or something like that, but you know, it's just like what can you do in that situation really? You know what I mean?
Just reported it to the bosses and saw what they tried to see what they saw with it, but I ended up getting laid off, so I was like, whatever.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear that happened to you, but
Oh, good.
I'm hoping that the retail job is a lot better, you know what I mean?
It hopefully will.
Yeah, I think it will be a new experience to try, and maybe you'll find it a lot better than that past job.
Indeed.
Are you okay? Are you dead?
No, no, I'm not dead. Oh, sorry.
You gotta
But
give me more than just indeed.
indeed,
I
indeed.
need your opinion on it.
Well,
You know?
I feel like for a while I was like trapped for sure. Like I didn't know what to do. I
Right.
think that's a feeling a lot of people coming out of high school feel, is that you're like, crap, I had to do something.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't follow the exact path everyone else did. So I was like, oh, now I have to find my own way.
Yeah, I think that's you know, it's kind of a tough time because I feel like school all the way up to high school is very much like, here's what you have to do. Okay, you do it, good. All right, here's your grade. Great job, right? But then, like, right when you get out of high school, very much like, okay, well, good fucking luck, idiot. it, I definitely feel like they don't really prepare you for a whole lot of the stuff that's in real life. Like, there's some classes that do, but they don't really cover a whole lot.
Yeah, I learned nothing in school. I feel like I teleported to like adult age. Like, oh gosh, what do I do?
Yeah, I think that's tough for everyone. I know that
Yeah.
me personally, I also had an issue with it. Like, I went to community college and all that, and I thought it was gonna be super. I got my ass smacked down to me because, like, what was it? I think even in high school, like, I got better at calculating math in my head, but I still used my fingers occasionally to be like, oh, let me go ahead and calculate something real quick. But like, what was it? You couldn't use. It was because I was more dependent on calculators, and I feel like calculators just should be like the regular thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree there.
I'm sure
Like,
basic math, you know, it's very much like, oh, you should at least know how to add something in your head, right? But like, they wanted us to do multiplication and division, and I know that's also pretty much simple math, but I don't know. Seems stupid, especially in a day and age where everyone has a calculator or a phone with a calculator. It's never like you're gonna be without one.
I see change coming this way, our way.
How so?
So I think because the fact that my generation, for example, wait, aren't we the same? Yeah, I think
We are the same
close to.
generation.
Yeah, we're close to, or literally am. Yeah,
I'm just the
yeah.
older. I'm just the older
Yeah,
part of the
older side of it.
generation. Yeah.
But I see with like our generation that we are like very dependent on this stuff. We weren't taught right at all.
Yeah.
A lot of us, so it's like simple math for most of us doesn't come easy.
Yeah.
Retail
Absolutely.
jobs, or where you're a cashier, for example, it's like, what, huh, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I do?
That is such a strange feeling, isn't it? I feel like I don't know if it applies to the whole generation of us, but like it's I feel like we missed a whole chunk of knowledge that every other generation prior got. Like, I wouldn't know how to fucking. I could try my best guess at like changing a tire or something like that, but I don't know how to fucking do that. Or like, I just feel like there's massive amounts of knowledge that we just like didn't get. I feel like I missed out on a bunch of learning still. You know what I mean?
I think that's what's about to change.
Oh yeah, probably. But in what
It has
fashion?
to, because it has to. Because if we continue going on that way, nobody's going to know nothing. How do you teach the next generation? How do you do anything?
I think I don't know. It feels like a jack of all trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I know a lot of things, though how well I know them is very dependent on what the subject is. I think like I don't know. I'm an advocate for the internet, you know what I mean? It's like I love the internet. I think it's a great tool. It's a great thing for everyone to use, but I also feel like some part of it, and I really just don't want to associate with those kinds of people that are like, oh yeah, the internet ruined me. It fucked me up. But I think the internet is also kind of tricky if you don't navigate it correctly. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know. I just know a lot of people be. I'm glad there's stricter, sorry, internet laws and all that because I went and I saw a lot of gore sites as a kid, and it's like, well, that's your fucking issue, you know. you know, I don't know. I think what happened is that um because the internet just doesn't affect the younger generation, it also affects the older one. I think that a lot of parents, uh our parents, the Zoomer generation, they kind
Yeah.
of got addicted to technology and were much less involved with their kids. You know what I mean?
It's a scary thought.
I mean,
Very scary.
it's just how it is, I suppose.
Yeah. You could just say it is what it is. Or you could like try to find change in that.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's. I think either society will adjust to it, or people will start to wake up and be like, "Well, okay, we gotta, we gotta actually do something," But I don't know, people are way too dependent on, you know, internet. Like, imagine like going a week without internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier said than done because most people have their friendships online now. They also have their entertainment online. They have their purpose online. It's almost as if it is a part of, uh, you know, humanity at this point. It truly is like, good luck trying to live without it. You can, but, you know, it's definitely an addiction, I suppose.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some people I know that are like what was it? It's kind of weird because like to you, I'm quite a bit older, but to me, I know older people and like they're old to me. Like I know 30-year-olds, and I'm only like 5 years away, but I'm like, oh, they're old. They're fucking old, bro. They're ancient. But I know some of them, they're that age, and like they go to stream a game and I watch them and they just don't know what to do. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know. Is there any topics you want to talk about? I feel like I kind of derailed it there and was like, hey, yo, let's talk about, internet and all that.
um. Well, what do you think? Do you think early life would be interesting topic or no?
Sure.
Sure. All right.
What?
What's some specifics that you got on top of your head?
Are we talking like early life as in like how we met each other, or are we talking early life as in like general early life
I
as
think
us for
before that,
kids?
like before I came to you, and then I was thinking kind of segue into the whole how I met you, and then how that went during that time that I was like young. I was like 11 or 13. Some I was watching your YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Then that whole switch.
that's fair enough. We can do that then. Um,
Okay.
so for me, I kind of like I'll go to like why I started streaming and all that, but the whole reason why I started streaming was because I saw someone else streaming and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind doing that. And to be honest, I went into it because I wanted more friends and all that. Because like, I don't know, being a little lonely boy for most of your life ain't too epic. And it's always good to at least try and attempt to make some amount of friends. But I suppose the way I went into it was very like, people have to find me in order to be my friend.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's been pretty good. I remember I started on YouTube because I love YouTube, and Twitch just seemed like, oh well, there's too many streamers on there. Of course, I'm not gonna get noticed on there and all that.
Hmm.
So I was like, YouTube's the place to be, and I started streaming on there. I can't remember. Ah, actually, before I started streaming on YouTube, I streamed on Facebook Live.
What?
Yeah, I was like, Facebook Live, that's where all my friends are, so I'll stream there. But that was just like shitty. Super bad. I remember, I think I was using the NVIDIA Shadow Play in order to stream things rather than OBS. So it was pretty dog water, pretty fast and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I
can
finally went over to.
imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. There was a lot of graphical glitches and all that shit. But I remember one of the very first games that I streamed was like, I think it was some janky game about like being a cougar or something like that. But if we're talking like a mainstream game that I played, it was The Darkness 2, which is a very cool game. I like it. I'd love to play the first one, but who knows about that. But yeah, I just did that. I streamed every day after school. It was pretty good, pretty nice. I met a lot of people, met a lot of freaks and weirdos. I remember some distinct moments. Um, I'll just recount like 2 or 3 of them, but I remember one incident was, what was it? I was playing a game. I was playing Resident Evil, I believe. I can't remember which one, but uh there were dogs, zombie dogs on screen. And I don't know why, like, my mouth and my brain are kind of separated, but I was just, killing the zombie dogs, and for some weird reason, just out of my mouth, I was like, man, Black Lives Matters, or what was it? Black lives really do matter, or something like that. And I think I was just thinking of like political memes at the time, but I was also just shooting dogs, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's probably not good looking. um, but there was another, what was it? Oh yeah, I had a viewer. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Cosmo Cosmonaut or something like that. But he would always try and roast me. Like he had that little kid energy of like, bro, you suck, haha, and I did your mom, lol. Is it really was like a Call of Duty kind of mindset, you know what I mean? And I just I just didn't react. I was like, oh okay. And he's like, how are you not offended that I'm roasting you right now? I was like, well, I don't know. It's whatever.
It
But
doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. You're saying nothing at me, bro. I don't care about what you're saying. And those were just some good moments. Met a lot of people that I kept as friends on Discord, but then I recently lost those people, so good luck with that, you know. Um, but yeah, when would you say you came into the picture, Perk?
Um, well, it was 2018. That was 7 years ago, so probably 11 years old.
Right? How was it? Like, what were you doing that day where you were like, I'm gonna go look up a funny thing on YouTube Live.
I
Let's go
was
look.
looking for Dead Rising 2 content,
Yeah.
and maybe before that, I could have been searching for something else, but I think it was Dead Rising 2. Found Justy. Like, this guy, something's different. Something's hee ha funny. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow this guy, subscribe. And from there, it was like I hung out for I think it was a year or two. What is it? Like,
Yeah.
no, like, probably a year or 9 months or something. It wasn't long.
Right.
It was on and off, but basically, I went through that period of time where I was around Justy, and I was like, okay, blue and bow by, and I dipped, and I would have been 12 or 13 at that point. So basically, I just went through the rest of elementary school to high school and finished that off. And then I came back. I spent 2 to 3 hours trying to find Justy. I was like searching his whole history and everything, trying to find where he went. And it so happens that he was on Twitch. I'm like, oh my gosh, perfect. Come back to my old account on Twitch, come back to Justin. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's even more funny now
It's more
because it's a bunch
schizo.
of tisms.
Yeah, a bunch of tisms.
But that's the main thing. I missed a lot of the quote drama that happened back then. I was in some good times, I think,
Yeah, you were
where it
in
was just peace times.
the what is it? The Renaissance era of Justy, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
What would you say was like you know, and that's the thing about this podcast. I don't really like making it all about me, but I suppose we're kind of on that topic. But I was
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, uh, what kind of made you go on and off about it? Is it because I know a lot of people they only really like to watch when I'm playing their game, which makes sense,
Yeah.
you know. But would you say the
Um,
on and off thing was because I was like, okay, well, I'm done with Dead Rising 2, on to the next game, everybody? And it was probably
um,
some random shit, you know?
I would say that because I was that age at that time, I cared way too much about the game. I cared too much about the people, cared too much about whatever else was going on in my life.
Right.
So I just got bored and I didn't care
Yeah.
how the streamer felt about that one. I was like, okay, I'm dipping,
Yeah.
and came back after a few days, and I'm dipping again.
Yeah. Your interests frequently, you know, you didn't. The
Yeah.
thing is that, you know, as you're growing up, you have to kind of decide what you want to spend your time on. You know? It's you eventually get to the point where you realize, oh shit, wait, I'm actually gonna have to grow up at some. I'm not gonna be able to just do what I want, you know? And so I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I went forward throughout the time that I was around,
Yeah.
if not that time, like near the Twitch switch era to the before that,
Right.
I probably would have been a completely different person. I don't think I would be the same person that I was or
Yeah.
I am now.
I feel like you went through a lot of changes, you know, from
Yeah.
all the way back then to now. And, you know, I don't know if you ever want to discuss them on the podcast, but I'd love to, kind of learn about, what was life like, between then and now? Exactly what do you feel like has influenced your way of development and such?
Um, Going through, for example, relationships, learned a lot about myself from that. And I don't mean just like girlfriend relationships and whatnot. I mean like
Friendships,
friendships,
partnerships,
all
all that good stuff.
partnerships, all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I kind of learned more about myself, learned a little bit more about people. In some ways, I didn't learn much, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
um, moreover, I have the whole issue of high school, how I was treated through at that time. It was in elementary, for example, like being treated like, oh, you can't speak up, you can't say nothing about the fact that, hey, or oh, you're guilt tripping or something, oh, you're trauma dumping, oh, you're gaslighting or something. They accused me of doing things that I wasn't even doing,
Right. So,
and oh,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and then I remember back in elementary, the same kids that were friends with my cousin, they were beating me up for being autistic, just straight beating me, and the teachers are sitting there watching and just sipping their coffee and or tea or whatever. It was not normal or not typical to say the least.
Yeah, that
But
sounds super fucked up.
oh, it is, and
Yeah.
I don't think I'm right completely anymore
Right.
from it. But
You've, it was like a permanent change to your
yep.
behavior.
Well, I came home with bruises and stuff, and my parents were like, what's going on? Are you just playing, or?" And I've blocked out that memory for a long time,
Right.
and just recently I started remembering, crap,
Yeah.
that actually happened, and I'm starting to, this slowly coming back to me on how I was like kicked in every possible place that I could be kicked in, like crotch area, face, all that good stuff.
Right.
And I came out with bruises, and I'm like, oh well, kids are evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an easy one. Um,
Still no
so
excuse for the teacher to just sit there and be like, yeah, whatever.
what
Oh,
is wrong with you for that? Like, what makes you want to do that? Like, sit there and do nothing. What, you don't want to get involved?
and it's a
You scared to lose your
teacher.
job?
Yeah, it's a teacher. You're supposed to be a fucking advocate for, your students, and
Anti-bullying and whatnot
you're
and
supposed to
defending.
fucking protect them, you
Yeah,
know?
but no, they didn't do that. So, um, I'm at a point here that I was told not to do certain things. I was treated like crap. So I'm like, here we are. Here we are.
Are you, you brought up that you're kind of remembering all of these events because you blocked them out to, obviously not try and deal with that kind of pain,
Yeah.
a very traumatical situation. But would you say that now as an adult you are processing those feelings well, or do you think they're kind of affecting you in a deeper way, like, making you either more suicidal or, more depressed, just kind of thinking about that?
I would have to say it definitely is getting to a point where it's like a little bit questioning life.
Yeah.
Like, why am I here? All that type of stuff. And before I even got those memories back, it was those suicidal thoughts and all that.
Right.
Um,
So it's just kind of adding a layer
very
onto it.
yeah, very manic moments where it's like, oh my gosh, why the blah, blah, woo. And I was kind of I was kind of going off the deep end, I think, and need to just find a place to chill out and cool off.
Yeah. It also,
Think about these things.
yeah. I would say it also sucks that, like, you know, I know a lot of people, and also welcome Retrovin, but I know a lot
Oh,
of people that if you try and talk to them about your feelings, like even just a slight bit, they're like, "Oh, you're fucking trauma dumping, bro. Bro, you need to fucking stop," you know? Like, I I'm very much an advocate that if people can't handle that stress, because everyone has their own issues going on
Yeah.
in life and all that. That's perfectly fine, but don't make someone feel bad for it. Be like, listen, I'm going through some of my own stuff. I'm sorry this is happening to you, but I can't talk to you about this. It's gonna make me worse or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's
But I
no
don't want to hear it right now.
there's no real good way of
And the most
doing it.
polite way of saying it. Yeah.
I know that I don't know if sorry sorry to bring it up if you didn't want to talk about it, retro, but I know you also kind of had that happen to you where you brought up like some emotions that you had and someone was like, "Oh, you're trauma dumping," or they tried to like shut you down and all that.
I don't remember if it was quite that. I think it was just more of I was talking about it so much, I guess.
Right. I I was just kind of
Then again, my
remembering.
memory's kind of fuzzy when it comes to that nowadays.
I just know that the person that you brought it up to would was constantly, yeah, don't trauma dump on, despite doing said thing to other people.
Yeah, it's a little hypocritical.
Very hypocritical. I to get back to what you were talking about, Red Rage. Um, it does kind of sound like you're at least being able to process those feelings, and even though it's you know kind of making you question life itself as well. Um, you know, it's somewhat good to get through those feelings. I guess you just need like the proper support there to make sure that you can get through them.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think everyone needs a good little bit of support. The
Yeah.
only way.
Well, it's a shitty thing because sometimes you don't get that, so you gotta kind of
Yeah.
work for yourself at that point.
And in Red Rage's, you know, point of view, you sometimes get the opposite. Sometimes you get beaten up for just having a condition, or if you try and talk about something, you also get abused in some kind of way. Pretty fucked up. There's
Yeah, that can definitely happen to people.
yeah, it's just you know, I guess people should be more like instead of fucking going that wild and doing that kind of thing, they should just you know, it's better to just be neutral about something than actively fucking bully someone over it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think I've ever really dealt with that for my conditions. Probably because my issues aren't really as seen, you know?
right. It's something that you I don't know. It's not something that you really bring up too often with other
Yeah,
people,
it's
right?
not like I got like a arrow pointing at me saying, I got OCD, I got OCD.
Right. And I don't know exactly what prompted you know, Red Rage to get attacked. That I don't know if it was no. Was there any kind of like? Did you talk to people about your condition, or was it just like,
I
like
don't think I understood, sorry. What it what it was wrong with me at the time because I was in kindergarten to grade 3. I was not completely there yet.
okay,
I made loud noises and stuff and did weird things that most people don't do,
right?
like biting and um like screaming and stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't really speak until like grade 2 to 3, that type of stuff. So I was like,
it was very much like you know, oh well, he's the weird kid. Let's you know
yeah,
tease and make fun of him, and then it just progressively got worse from there.
oh yeah,
Fair enough. Also, welcome, Fox. We're
Hello,
doing a
hello.
podcast.
Goody.
Yeah, welcome. More than welcome to input whatever
Mhm.
you wish. Have you ever been bullied over something, Fox, such as a
Oh
condition?
boy, have I. No, not for a condition, just for being weird.
Would that be part of a condition?
I wouldn't know. I mean, it's the closest thing I can think is bipolar, but I sure as fuck didn't know then.
Right. Fair enough. I think I don't know. I'm trying to compare RedRage's situation to other people and see exactly if they may have been treated the same way, or if you know,
Hmm.
in his case, it was just you know, I wouldn't call it luck or anything. Oh well, bad luck, bro. But
Look at the draw.
yeah, but it's very much like you know, is there some kind of symptoms that were shown that people just latched onto and were like,
Hmm.
okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and treat you differently because of this.
They're drawn to the behaviors that tell them you have to bully this kid.
Yeah, and from what I heard, you know, you just described, read about, you know, playing those traits, you know, such as screaming and biting and all.
Oh my god!
I suppose that is what really drew them
How
in.
young are we talking about?
Grade 1 to grade 3, maybe even kindergarten added into that. It was a
Oh,
pretty
okay.
long time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember me doing a lot of biting, but I sure do remember a lot of people biting back then.
Do you feel like as a kid, you know, you kind of had the mindset of, oh, well, those people, I should like make fun of them, anything like that?
Well, you know what kids did when I was 5 and 4. Actually, I was in kindergarten 4. There was a kid that like was crawling underneath the desks with fucking scissors trying to cut everybody's feet,
But
and the teacher would just let him.
see, teachers just aren't that good, I guess. Like that's what
No, it
happened
would
with
fucking suck.
Red Rage got
Like either she wasn't paying
teachers-
attention to the kid, like to the bunch of kids and like different tables, fucking screaming because the other kid was trying to cut up their feet with little safety scissors.
Dude, teachers be like, all right, this kid's getting bullied. We'll let it happen. But
Yeah,
when the
I'm just
bullied
gonna
kid
like,
fights
just build
back,
some
they're like,
fucking
all right.
character. Why not? Put
Yeah,
some
when the
air in your
bullied
chest.
kid, yeah, when the bullied kid fights back, they're like, oh no, now you're in trouble.
Do you think that's on purpose,
I
or are
think
they just really bad at their job?
I don't know. I feel like it's somewhat of a you know I don't get paid enough for this, and I also just don't care because at least from Red Rage's point of view, it sounds like he was quite literally being you know beaten up by these other kids. The teacher was just like watching and didn't do anything about it. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
Or
it could be. It could be that the teachers just didn't give a shit. Like, couldn't be bothered.
we're all just a bunch of monkeys, and we have other monkeys watching over us, and sometimes those people are just fucked.
I want to see that as a court defense. It's like, Your Honor, we're all a bunch of monkeys, and we do monkey things.
True though, you know. It's what-
But you're caught murdering a family. We're all monkeys, and we do monkey things like murdering a family.
I understand. I had to be a monkey. I had to.
Had to.
Hey,
had to make it.
manners.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Red? I know you had a few more topics you wanted to chat about.
Oh, what we got?
Look at what we got.
I mean, my voice is shut. I've been talking all day, baby.
Have you been doing a good teacher job?
I'm already done with the teaching. I'm a second day of a full-on job, full-on doing some translations, baby.
How's that been?
Traumatizing. I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, what the? Oh,
I'm good at it, but I don't want to do it anymore. It's traumatizing. Like if you work at all in the field of medicine, anybody that happens to be listening to this, if you work in the field of medicine, fucking, I don't know, do the fucking butt licking salute that people do like for fucking soldiers. I do that to you. I'll suck your cock. I'll fucking pay you a lap dance, whatever. Just you doing something that requires people to either lose their minds or just be psychopaths, because that shit is way too stressful.
You have to deal out dying people.
Just baby. That one traumatized me. Can't say too much about it because it's illegal. But there's a baby that was having some trouble. I'm like on the other side, like losing my fucking mind, going like, "Oh my god, is the baby gonna die?"
Right.
The baby was fine, but like there was a good 45 minutes where I was losing my shit. It's like I'm gonna fucking witness it happening.
Yeah, and then that's gonna be on your mind forever. So
Yeah, forever.
gonna have to deal with that.
And I didn't even do anything. I was just there.
Yeah, we're just there to,
I get trauma by proxy. Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, for my brittle little mind and my bipolar, I don't think that's a good combination. I don't think that, like, I genuinely fear for my sanity.
think there might be anything to counteract that other than just not being around that kind of stuff.
To probably go crazy somewhere else. I don't know, to go scream a bit. I mean, I needed to decompress when here, and then I see you're doing a podcast. Like, oh shit, I could howl like a monkey for like 2 hours.
Out with this, tell us about whatever's troubling you. Me and RedRage were gonna kind of do, what was it, a somewhat introductory podcast because he's an old viewer. I wanted to chat more about how his life was between
Yeah, go ahead,
all the
baby
way
boy.
back. Red, anything else? Anything else you wanted to chat about? I know I keep fucking asking that, but you know, I want to give you the opportunity to chat about whatever you want to talk about.
Here, yeah, I think we covered most of the early life stuff, and yes,
Fair enough.
yeah. So, is there anything in specific you wanted to know more about, or
I don't know. I guess this podcast is very much just like, trying to get to
Sure.
know people and
Yeah.
what affects them,
Mm.
which a lot of people don't really want to open up because it's a it's a public thing. You could be like,
Yeah.
oh well, I have fantasies of killing my mom and raping her, and it's like, well, no one would.
Same. I mean, what?
No one wants to open up about that on like some kind of public access or something like that.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, like there's.
Yeah.
I know at least for me, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't, talked about on here.
I mean, sure. I got some fucking skeletons in my closet, dude. I don't want to fucking. I'm gonna be incriminating myself if I reveal them.
There's always the inner self, whatever, the fucking mask thing. Where it's like, oh, you present
there's
this and that.
other kinds of introspection more than just crimes committed.
You could always read off some of these good deep questions. If
Oh my god,
open.
you fucking cue cards, dude.
Alright,
But I look at these and I'm like, oh, these are actually really fucking good.
Okay, go ahead then. Read your fucking cue cards.
So I guess
All
this
right.
is a question for everyone. Do you think you were popular in school?
Oh man, who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I was probably somewhere in the middle. I wasn't like the nerd kind of person, but
A fucking
I wasn't
loser.
yeah, I was just the regular loser, not the nerd smart kind of loser.
There's like
Right.
a special kind of guy or like people that are just in the middle all the time. Never too famous, never too low key.
It's like 90% of the people. It's only the weird ones or the fancy ones that stand out as either freaks or the
You don't
reps.
think like everybody has some level of importance to some people?
I don't know. You have to think of it like this. You ever think
Mhm.
that the nerds in school ever think that they're the nerds, or they don't think some other group is the nerd?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happens all the time.
Or
Like
Oh
just
yeah, there's another
one side of
kid.
the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go ahead first. It's okay.
Okay, there's one side of the school that goes like, look at that fucking loser. Wow, he's so fucking lame, and the other side is thinking exactly the same thing. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
want to say.
Yeah, they had this one. Speaking of popularity, Jess, do you remember that one person I showed a video of from my school? Where they're
Yeah.
like, "Ain't got no dick left to suck."
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were popular, but in the infamous sense.
Yeah. That was a good one. Um, yeah. So, someone at retro school made quite the popular music video, if you
Yeah,
can call it that.
the teacher was even getting into it. He's like, What is this?"
Yeah.
Oh shit! There's a video of me on Facebook of me running around the school on nothing but boxers.
Why did that
I
dare?
remember that now. Shit, it's still there. Like I don't even use Facebook anymore, and people can just see me running my shorts.
I don't know
Dare?
if it was deleted or not, but I had a video a friend recorded when I was in agriculture or horticulture class where I was messing with the hose. I, I sprayed it all up on my head and shit.
You
I drenched myself.
were wet.
I was very wet. Let me tell you.
Oh,
You were moist.
oh my!
I feel like, I don't know, school's retarded, but in a good way. I I never really had any issues. I think um I like to listen, I'm gonna be one of those types of people and just say that I think it was a good time. I think it was the best times of my life.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I Here's the thing is that I hear a lot of people are like, "Oh, I was bullied in school," or the teachers were fucking horrible to me, or "Oh, I didn't learn a single fucking thing from school." And
Oh my god!
I'm just very much like the odd one out in that case. Like I was only somewhat bullied in middle school, and it was just by this one like scrawny kid, and I guess he just didn't
There's
like
always this chronic kid.
scrawny kid called Ryan. He was always
Mm.
just like, "Ah, you're fucking fat, bro." Okay.
His real name
Dude,
Ryan
Ryan's
Gosling.
like the perfect name for a scrawny kid.
Ryan is like the fucking douchebag little kid, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Like the nerd that's like, well, actually.
But he got fucking what was it, expelled because he went on a trip and he stole like a gas, like what was it, the gas cap from a fucking bus. So
Jesus.
yeah, going places kind of kid, I suppose. But other than that, everyone was perfectly fine and dandy with me. I was much more of a nerdy like loser to a lot of people. They never forced that on me. They're like, "Ah, you're a fucking nerd. Kill yourself."
Yeah, there is a special kind of bitter human being that would find somebody that's unassuming to like that would hate somebody that's like unassuming.
Yeah, there's just I don't know. It says RedRage said earlier that children are just fucking horrible.
Especially
Yeah,
middle
sometimes, yeah.
schoolers.
Middle schoolers,
Suck.
yeah. Like the high schoolers can be insidious as fuck though. They can say something that stays with you for like the rest of your fucking life if you let it. But middle schoolers will like fucking break you down violently, like leave you fucking weeping as an adult.
Yeah, middle school was like the movies are always all like, "Oh yeah, high school's gonna be awful, bro. You're gonna fucking kill yourself when you're in high school." But middle
Yeah,
school's
middle
like the
school's way worse.
middle
I
school's
mean,
like fuck.
most people like kill themselves in high school from things that happened in middle school.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's a real fucking culprit.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes like the bullies will transfer to the same high school usually,
Oh no, yeah, I better fucking
so
kill
it's just
myself
never
before that.
ending.
Yeah. think that's good though. What was it? I think that I think it was fucking last podcast. Been asked the question, podcast questions, which was, should we bring bullying back?
Yeah.
I
Well, do you?
I
Depends on why.
I don't know. Like I guess it's to
You were memeing. You say yes, but what do you actually think?
I don't know. I think in some qualities I feel like not bullying, but just giving people like a reality check. You know what I mean? Like not
Yeah.
fucking
Calling people out is very different from actual bullying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone's fucking, I don't know, class and they got like their furry dog tail on, like it doesn't matter too much, but when they're starting to like put it in everyone's face and being like, oh, look at this, look at it, like, you know, shut the fuck up, you know. I want,
Yeah,
not
like,
everyone is
when
into
they
that
start
kind of
barking.
stuff. Yeah, you know, it's just that there needs to be a little bit of a reality check, not bullying though.
And what would the reality be?
The reality is that you have a fucking furry tail on in a class
You
where
fucking cringe.
where people you fucking cringe, you know. You gotta-
Fucking cringe with your little cringy tail.
Who's the weirdest kid you guys have known in school?
Not myself.
Probably me.
Hey, hey!
Aye. Now we get married. Oh wow, you're rejecting me, babe.
I would say,
Fuck, babe.
I can't remember really any of them. I think there was this one fat white girl that was like, listen, I have to describe her as such, but
Okay.
she just drew like a lot of anime stuff, and
Oh no.
she would act very anime in front of everyone else. So it's like,
Okay, okay.
okay,
Is she like a really big, like, ooh woo kind of person?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, I had a girl that would just repeat lines from hentais, like in the like a perfect fucking impression of the voice and everything.
That's crazy.
It would make me equal parts horny and weirded out,
Yeah.
like to the point I didn't want to like, hang out with her. She had-
Dude, I would laugh if there was some kid in school that recited lines from SpongeBob SquareNuts.
That's for like a meme, though, right? It's not like a kind of pick me girl kind of shit.
Could you imagine Pick Me Girl being like,
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah,
this is
for
gonna
sure.
get me kind of man, I suppose.
It'll give me all the attention from the boys. I'm gonna be so popular.
Listen,
By
I'm
doing the horny shit.
the other girls.
gonna be on.
Exactly.
Starting to lose touch with the young side of me. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, how old are you?
I don't know. I'm only 25. Not-
Oh my god.
not
Okay,
too
yeah, you're
old.
at the point.
I'm at the point where it's like starting to not make any sense. Like, I hear people saying like "pick me, girl," and I'm like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" You know, I'm literally
Oh
getting
my
to the old point.
god. Well, okay, that's an whole thing though. So you're in the new territory. Like it's way too old for you to understand because you're too young.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, so
Yeah, so you're
I'm
fine.
younger.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's because you're
Oh.
younger.
Can you believe this? Here's the thing.
Mhm.
Here's the big thing, right? Fox, you're older to
Yes.
me because you're like in your 30s, correct?
I am a fucking dinosaur. Yes.
Yeah. But RedRage called me old, and I'm 25.
I didn't call you old.
Yeah, what do you mean? You called me older. You called me older.
I said older, not old.
Yeah, there's a difference.
No,
Yeah.
there's no.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
get trigger fucking grandpa.
I'm gonna get real fucking angry. I think RedRage and Retro are relatively next to each other in
Okay,
the
but-
age.
Yeah, I'm 22.
Oh,
Wait.
22 to 25, you're a fucking dinosaur. Yeah, man.
Oh, actually, wait. How old are you, Red?
18.
Oh, he's 18. Never mind.
Oh my god, yeah, little
You're
baby.
yeah, you're the fucking youngest. I don't know.
Fuck, dude, I'm a dinosaur.
That's crazy though, because like that's exactly what I hate that. Okay, listen, real quick, real bitch quick moment, and then we'll move on
Yeah,
to like
alright.
the next question. But I fucking hate
Sure.
that. When I was growing up and all that shit, I hanged out with older people. and like I had feelings of anger or something like that, they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. I used to be like that." And it's like, shut
Mhm.
the fuck up. Okay, you don't know me. Shut up. Just because you were angry at some point doesn't mean you know exactly what I am going through. Okay, you're not Jesus Christ. Leave me alone. Anyways,
You don't think they can relate at all?
well, it's like it's not even a relate. It's like, well, I know what you're going through, and I'm
Oh,
better than you for it.
it sounds dismissive. That
Yeah,
they don't care, or like it's
That's how my
it'll pass then.
that's how my dad is. We were talking a few days ago, and he was like, "Oh, I think I got the same issues as you." And he's like, "Oh, it was hard, but I was able to force myself to stop worrying about it." I'm like, that's not how that works.
I fucking hate people like that.
Yes. See, like, okay, even if they go through exactly the same, they have different ways of dealing with it. So their advice, like, I don't know, take it with like
Yeah,
a
his way of
fucking
dealing
bucket of
with it
salt.
is drinking beer and smoking weed.
Yeah, maybe don't do that, except for the weed, maybe. I don't know, like
Yeah,
maybe the
weed I
least
don't
hurtful
mind.
thing
I
you
don't
can
care
do.
if he. Yeah, I don't care if he does weed. It's just beer. He needs to cut down on that.
Yeah, that's unhealthy.
I agree. Would, did everyone answer good? Would we like to move on to the next one?
Yeah, we answer good. Yeah, please.
We
about-
do good.
What about you, Red?
Yeah.
All right. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn?
Unlearn. Ooh.
What's something that you kind of grew up with, but then it was like, that's incorrect, wrong.
I got one.
Go ahead.
That hard work guarantees people respecting you. That shit is not true at all. People are still going to be assholes no matter how hard or how well you do your job or anything in life, really. So try to do it for yourself. Like, make yourself happy first.
Yeah, I agree with
And then you can do the fucking martyr thing.
the martyr thing.
Yeah, because, like, you know, working yourself to death just
Yeah,
to prove a
you
point that you're
just
good.
self-sacrifice. Just to.
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Like, make yourself happy, man.
Oh, welcome, mouse. Hello.
Yo, holy fuck! I just remembered right now about your podcast.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast, me boy.
Wait, that's tomorrow, or that was yesterday, though, wasn't it?
What's right now?
I missed
you're,
it?
You're in
shit.
it.
Oh, it's right fucking now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
ready
no
to be a
shit.
podcaster, boy? Ready to sell some crypto? Let's go.
Listen, I'm selling you all a share of my company, okay? You're gonna
Yeah,
love it.
baby.
Oh,
Can I get 2,000 shares? Just
Yeah.
dilute them entirely so they have no value?
how are you doing?
I am good.
Okay.
You know, I actually, speaking about crypto,
Oh, no.
on that, I was telling you about that AI thing that I signed up for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you?
On one of the tasks that it made me do is I had to write a short story about a green dancing octopus in the FTX offices, and then I forgot the actual day, but it was like the day that they thought they were going to be able to sell off the company right before everything like fell to shit. And that was my task for the AI company, was to write that short story. It was really fucking weird. But
Is it well worth the $8?
I mean,
Wow.
it was a very short story, so yeah.
A whole $8, baby.
It depends what gig you take, but yeah, a lot of them are like, but it's a short. It'll be like a short task, and it'll give you like $8.
Wait,
But
I
I
have.
yeah.
remember the gig economy. Oh man, that feels like a lifetime ago.
Wait,
Yeah,
I have a freaking relating. Listen, I need to cut off your story. I'm gonna be honest. Okay?
all that. I have no other
Okay, go
story.
ahead.
That was it.
I apologize. I have to trim the branch, okay? But Mouse, you have a son who has autism, correct?
Yeah.
Well, RedRage also has it, and I was kind of wondering what your perspective is. Like,
You say
if
also has it as an autism or a son with autism?
he also has autism,
Oh, okay.
but I was wanting your opinion on the situation. RedRage said that he was being up in school over his condition, and I was wondering what your take would be on that if that happened to your son. Like, you know,
My
what?
son is homeschooled, so no,
Oh,
he is not.
oh. Shit.
But
Well
if he
then,
if he wasn't, if he was in public school, there would be a very good chance of it. Now, because so intellectually, he's actually more than twice his age. He has a very high IQ, but emotionally and all of his likes and dislikes, like the shows that he watches and everything, it's the stuff that 5-year-olds would watch, and he's 8. So yeah, if he was in public school, it probably wouldn't go very well at all.
Is there any kind of like, you know, in that situation, is there anything you would do in order to kind of help him get past that point, you know? Like I
As
imagine,
a father,
yeah, because like it's a very traumatic event that would happen to him. Is there any
yeah.
kind of suggestions you would have in order to get past that, you know?
Um, I don't know. I mean, because there's even before, even before my son was born, we were already planning on homeschooling.
Right.
So I honestly don't know, because I have such a low opinion of our education system that there's no way in hell I would ever let my kid in it. So I mean, my suggestion, if I were in that situation, would be to immediately pull that kid out of school, because I don't trust the school systems in general.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, like when it comes to suggestions about getting through it, yeah, I don't.
Fair enough. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I was like, oh,
No, you're good.
this man might have some advice for, you know, the situation that occurred, maybe how to get past it or something.
Well, I mean,
he has witnessed the
well, I
autism.
mean, I have a shit ton of advice about PTSD, if that's what we're talking about. But if we're talking about talking to a kid that's trying to actively get through it right now, no, I don't. I wish
What's
I did, but I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing.
your advice on PTSD?
It depends on the situation.
There's a lot of
that
situations,
is
really.
yeah, that is such a deep hive of things right there.
No, it's you could apply it to anything, right? Uh, that's understandable. Um, we
But yeah,
were,
that's one of my favorite things to study is psychology. So
oh, me too. I love it. It's,
yeah.
you know, the whole
Oh
reason
man.
why I kind of started this podcast was to try and do some deep dives on people and see how they feel about certain situations. But thing is that a
I
lot of
see.
people don't want to talk deep about, you know, what issues they may have or going on in life because,
E-
you know, this is a public kind of podcast, you know.
I got you. You know,
Gotta
one of
be
my
incriminating.
favorite concepts in psychology. Do you know what the hedonistic treadmill is?
I think so.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
Um.
sort of acquainted with that.
I mean, either way. I mean, I guess if we're doing podcasts, there's listeners that wouldn't know. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so what the hedonistic treadmill is basically your highs and lows are dependent on your atmosphere that you're in right now. It's why, even though I went through severe trauma as a kid and I had nervous breakdowns or panic attacks back then, but now I relatively live a very easy life in comparison. So you'd think that I wouldn't have any issues with anxiety, right? I mean, I'm away from all of those problems that I had. I have both time and distance between me and it. So I should overall be perfectly fine. And yet I will still have anxiety attacks at different points. And that's because it doesn't matter that I'm not dealing with as severe of a problem, because this is the depth of the severe, this is as severe as it gets in my current life, my current atmosphere. So it will still trigger some of my anxieties just the same as if I was in a really worse place. A lot of times, though, this also causes a kind of a divide there, because a lot of people will both internally and between people, because you have to first of all think about it. For me, like, I mean, I could start judging myself and like, what the hell's wrong with me? You know, I should be fine right now. I should be stronger. I know I'm stronger than this. And you end up tearing yourself apart, when in reality, you just have to be more understanding with the emotions on that front, because it's not about how much I've gone through. It's about understanding my emotions and my current state of what I'm dealing with right now, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a divide with that. But then also, I mean, just like you were talking about, people not really wanting to talk about in depth about their past or about, you know, current things like this. And a lot of it is because they might think like, well, what if the person next to me has gone through way worse shit? Or even what if I know they've gone through way worse shit than I ever have? I don't want to feel like this hyper privileged, whiny piece of shit, you know? But I mean, at the same time, that's not what it's about, you know? I mean, just because I've gone through terrible shit, it doesn't mean that I would wish it upon other people. You know, it's not like people have to have gone through horrible things just for me to have empathy for them. You know, that's not what empathy and compassion's about. So, I mean, but at the same time, it's because of that, there is another divide there where people just, they don't feel like they could connect. They don't feel like they should even be allowed to try to connect there. At least that's my perspective on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of points when I'm talking to people, people I care about, I do try to break down that wall, because, you know, it is important, you know?
Yeah.
It's them. So why the fuck try to underplay that? But
I think that's the issue, is that a lot of people, their perspective is varied upon that. Just that in itself, it's very much like some people will say, oh, well, you know, maybe my trauma isn't as important as other people's trauma, so, you know, I shouldn't even try and bring it up or anything like that. Or they may think, now, there are some people who are like, well, my trauma was the most important, so everyone else is nothing compared to what I've gone through.
yeah,
Right? And
yeah, I've met people like that too.
yeah, that's
And
just crazy.
and see, that's the
People
thing,
like
and
that too.
that's the only point that it ever pisses me off.
Yeah.
Is the people that are like, no, you don't understand.
Oh
What I
my
went through
God.
is so much worse. And then, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, there's a good chunk of the time that's when I have the thought of like, you didn't go through shit. You're just a bitch. That's when I'm actually thinking those things, is when there's people that are like, I'm everything I went through is so much bigger and more important than everything you went through. Those are the people that I think that shit about.
But I still
know?
think, like, the question is that, you know, is it something that still deeply affects them and they've just weaponized it? Or is it something that they've kind of gone past through, but now they still have weaponized it to be like, oh, well, you know, time to get some pity points. It's kind of like, I'm allowed to act out because I've gone through such a miserable time. So, you know, that's just how it is.
Usually it's that they haven't fully healed from it.
Yeah.
At least in my experience, that's usually what it is. Like, they've gone through it and they feel like they're stronger because they got away from it,
Right.
but they never actually grew into a full person past it.
They
They're
never
still
dealt
kind of
with it.
they're yeah, they're still
They get
that
stuck
damaged
being,
person.
yeah, they're being defined by the thing that traumatized them.
Yeah, and because they never actually grow as a full, well-rounded, healthy person, that is their badge of honor. That is their strength. Even though what they're really doing is they're showing off their weakness to you.
Yeah.
And trying to show it as a strength because they have that insecurity and that
they're taking
it's
the
kind of like
advice
a
of wearing your insecurities like a shield.
yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
taking it way too literally. As in, just tell everybody about all of your insecurities and shit. Like, expect them to respect you. Like, have they ever gone to fucking high school or middle school for that matter?
Right. It's, I don't know. That's a tough one because
Yeah, I mean, I might not be right on it. And of course, it's always going to vary on case to case basis.
yeah, it's all about
And then
perspective.
you also have to remember that, I mean, what was it? It was like a third of the population doesn't have an internal dialogue. I don't remember
That's
the actual
crazy.
percentage. Give me,
That's
yeah, I
fucking
gotta look it
crazy.
up. Let me look it up. I forgot the percentage.
That's just nuts. It's also just crazy to think that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, now that I'm away from this trauma, it no longer affects me." Like,
I'm
you know,
cured. I'm
I
free.
I suppose for me, like, that's just insane
Yeah.
that anyone would even think about it like that, because that's
So,
not how it works at all.
According to studies, it says that it could be it's definitely at minimum 30%, but anywhere up to 50% of the population does not have an inner monologue at all. They don't have an inner voice. They're and that I think so I mean you people like us right here, we talk and we think about like these different statistics and things like that. But you have to keep in mind that there is a very large chunk of the population that they are just cause and effect on everything. There is no internal monologue at all there. There's no
Maybe
critical
not a way
thought.
to maybe not a way to articulate those thoughts, but maybe those thoughts
Yeah.
are still there, as in like feelings or just concepts
You think?
instead of getting like a way to just narrate.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but how do you actually process? I mean, so
Sometimes I do feel like that, where some of my passing thoughts, like I have really big problems trying to get what's in my head onto paper because I try to write some things, and sometimes I have really what I think is good ideas, but when I try to articulate them, I can't.
yeah,
Because I either promptly forget about what the fuck I was thinking about, or maybe the thought itself was complex in such a way that I
fragmented
couldn't.
or yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
I
But I
feel
mean, but the point is though, is that when you're actually critically reviewing something, it is that internal thought process in your head, that monologue.
Yeah.
And there's people that don't have that.
yeah. Sometimes it's like that for me.
that's
But very few times.
I mean,
though, like when I'm
sometimes
really
I
get
have an
close
actual
to kind of.
example of that with my mom.
Ooh.
Like, what was it? It was about 2 days ago. We were driving home and all that, and I was trying to explain to her that you can understand why someone would do something, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with them on it. I was trying to say
Yeah.
that, like, if someone uh murders someone else, you can understand why they may have murdered that person, but you don't have
Yeah.
to agree with it. And was she was just so gun-ho on, like, no, they murdered someone, they're not in the right. And it's like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that you can try and understand why they would do something like that without actually
Yeah.
agreeing with it. So, I really do think a lot of people just uh I feel like they would kind of have that inner monologue, but they just I don't know how to say it without being rude about it, but
It was almost drained out of them.
I feel like, you know, people are worrying about what they're gonna be eating for dinner tonight rather than fucking think about, like,
You're saying they're simple.
It's not even that they're simple. It's just that there's a lot more other things going on in life that take importance over this fucking mushy gushy bullshit. Like,
Yeah, right.
don't get me wrong, I enjoy psychology, but
Yeah, because it's fun, not because
it's fun.
it's practical or useful.
Yeah,
It
outside
is
of
practical and
it would
useful.
it would take a lot more knowledge and like discipline
No,
to
it's
actually get use
extremely
out of it.
practical and useful.
I don't know
I mean,
about that.
actually having an understanding of people that you're interacting with. I mean, and then on
Well,
top of that, like friends, family, having
there
this
is some
interaction and
understanding, but
having a depth of understanding gives you a healthier connection and relationship with them.
But
not in my case
yeah,
because my family just
Well,
is not good
I-
at communication.
I would say it's like,
family probably shouldn't be listed on that because yeah, my family same, but
I feel like it's very much
But with
like
friends, it does work.
jigsaw puzzles. I feel like if you
Oh
are
yeah,
someone who has that kind of higher understanding of, the inner depths of an actual relationship with someone, then of course you'll connect greatly with someone else like that. But it's kind of like
add to
people.
the uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
add to the metaphor that you're trying to put the puzzle pieces together, but there's like glue in your hands.
Yeah,
have
it's
you
So like they kind of stick together, and you're trying to like fucking press it apart if you got the wrong.
this is gonna sound weird, but have you never had like a deep friendship with somebody that's clearly an idiot?
I mean, yeah, you can't have those.
I live my life in abject terror that I am the fucking idiot.
That is true. What about you, Retro and RedRage? We've kind of been just steamrolling over you. I don't know
I'm
if you guys have
sorry.
anything you want to add to it.
Oh, do what?
If you
Sorry,
guys,
I lost my train of thought.
oh, I was just
Oh.
asking if you guys wanted to add anything to it. You know, I know that us boys have been just kind of steamrolling over you and RedRage. I don't want to like leave you guys in the dust if you got anything you wanted to add to it.
What were you guys talking about so I can kind of catch up?
We were just kind of like talking about how some people have like that inner dialogue, you know, of like, you know, they do an action and then they kind of think about it and they're like, wait, well, why would I do something like that? You know, it's not just like, yeah, I did it and this is what happened.
Yeah, I think I also have like the inner dialogue because my mind's like, oh, why did I do it this way? Why didn't I do it that way?
Right. Do you ever have that with like OCD as well? Like I know that that's what you suffer from, but is there like a voice inside of you that kind of says, well, why did you do it this way? Do you feel like that kind of inner voice may have kind of taken over and now it has to question everything you've done?
Yeah, it feels like my brain because like I think with OCD there's like a certain part of the brain that isn't there, you know?
Yeah,
Executive function.
But yeah, it's kind of like peer pressure but for my mind, basically.
Yeah.
And after I like do the same action a ton of times, whether it be the light switch, or taking a piss even. That sometimes has its own little thing.
right,
Um, but the shitty thing is I'll like think, well, why did I do that? Why did I even, why did I even bother?
right.
Because I hate my life. I fucking hate this. That's what my inner monologue is saying whenever I have those episodes.
Right. Would you say it's kind of like the inner monologue just kind of is telling you to do it better or more perfect, right? And because it is something that can't ever be appeased, you know, you keep doing it and you're trying and trying. Eventually, it's just like, okay, well, I guess I can't fucking do anything. I literally am just brain rot. I'm brain dead, dude. You know?
Yeah, I get that feeling like I just want to tell my brain, go fuck yourself, honestly.
Right. I
Is it
kind
OCD or
Yeah,
OCD?
really,
Oh,
really
OCD. So it's
severe
not
OCD.
executive function then. Oopsie.
I
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I was gonna say I kind of wonder if alcohol would help with that, you know, because like I guess it, you know, not really good, but
I think because everybody says this about any fucking mental disease, even fucking Parkinson's, weed can help.
oh yeah, probably.
That's what I've heard. Like, my dad says, "Oh, that's why I do it."
Yeah, but don't go like every time you feel kind of OCD, just smoke a fucking bowl. It's more it's more like
A band.
trying it to get a perspective. What does it feel like when you don't have the constant feeling in your head?
Yeah, I guess I prefer just dealing with it than taking any substances. That's just me,
Yeah.
though.
Well, that would be more a thing to talk about with like psychiatrists or neurologists or that kind of shit. So I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
go
no,
with
they
my fucking
prescribe it to me.
prescription of like smoking a ball or something.
Yeah, no, they prescribe it to me. I'll take it, but
Yeah.
I would never do it casually.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
thing I
I
heard
have.
that helps people with OCD is like just plain old exposure therapy. Just doing the thing and realizing the world doesn't end when you make a mistake.
I did have an edible before I joined this channel. So
Enjoy, baby.
if I get weird, feel free to be like, "Hey, mouse, get out."
Well, if you get really, really rowdy.
I hate you all. That's
Okay.
crazy.
God.
Sorry. You guys want to continue with the whole the card thing? I kind of feel like we were on to something, but And I was
I
like,
get the cue cards, baby.
hey, I'm gonna train stop this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could restart your life, would you and why? That goes for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I feel like that's the answer everyone's gonna choose here.
No.
No?
No.
Nope.
Huh. Well, I
I mean,
suppose.
let's work our way up. Retrovan said, yeah.
Yeah, go
why?
ahead, Rich.
Well, I think it's because I have like a lot of a lot of nostalgia for my past, and I feel like I just want to like we're talking about restarting, right? Like from the very beginning.
Yeah, restart life.
Wait, do you have
Yeah,
the same
I'd like to
brain?
see. I'd like
Do you
to
have
see
the
a lot
same
of the
brain as
people
you
that.
have right now, or is it just
Yeah,
like
your
your
only
soul
memories.
reliving it?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, do we like have all the memories, or is it just like hard restart?
The card just says if you could restart life, would you and why?
I'd assume
So,
that you have
That
all the
implies,
memories.
it implies that you're there
yeah.
to appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. So you have all the memories.
Yeah, in that case, I definitely still say yes, since I feel like there's things I could have done better,
Oh, for
just in
sure.
general.
that's a weird, here's a concept though to add to that, which is if you restart life, and you do contain all the memories that you did prior, does that also mean that you carry over any kind of mental illness that you also have? No, because
Yeah, I have freaking OCD as a baby, I would
OCD
say.
as a fucking baby, gotta put the pacifier in, put it out, put it in, put it out. That's crazy.
My grandmother's like, "What the fuck?"
I don't know. If that's the case, well, not that, but like if restarting life is that you get to, I don't know. I'd want like a hard reset, get to experience everything again, even all the like tragic shit. I think it's good. There's life cannot be pleasure without a little bit of pain, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what makes it important.
Yeah, it's all part of the experience. You'll feel anger, sadness, depression, tons of things throughout life.
Hey, that's crazy.
RedRage, did you say yes?
No, I said no. Actually, I would say even if it was the same outcome in another life, I would still say no, just because it's just. I think you need to see the beauty in the time you have. I don't think you get a second chance.
Making every moment count, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can't really have any do-overs. All you have
Yeah.
really is a hypothetical of, what could be.
I'm gonna lay in my own filth and scroll through Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Don't you
I
mean
honestly,
Uh-huh.
I would, or I'm sorry, I wouldn't, but not for the same reason. Because my only reason is I have my son,
Yeah.
and even if I were to redo things, even if I'm with the same person and everything, it's just it won't be him the next time around. So I mean, but if it wasn't for that, then yes, I would.
Could you ever love a son from a different universe? Like if you were transferred into a different kind of
Yeah, like
timeline?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like
Would you
if
be the Mexican Spider-Man? Would you be that?
like if you
I think I would, yeah.
could you love your son from another universe?
I
Knowing
think
that,
so. I mean, it depends on like what that son is like. I mean,
what if
he comes out like screeching death to all humans and he has two tusks like sticking out of the back of his head, then it might be different. But
does your son have a favorite
he
kind of
has-
food?
does he have what?
Does he have a favorite kind of food?
You know what? I'm gonna let you guess. What is the autistic kid's favorite food?
It's got to be
Oh
something with
man,
cheese, right?
Fucking chicken nuggets.
It's chicken nuggets.
Oh
There you
shit!
go.
Hey,
What
let's
if-
go.
what if-
I know about this shit,
What
man.
if your son from another universe is like, yeah, I like cheese pizza instead? I don't like chicken
What if,
nuggets
what
at
if
all.
his son from another universe is a fucking mouth like a predator, but he decides to become a beatboxer instead
What the fuck?
with
I
that
might
fucking
love him
mouth?
more. I might
Yeah,
love
would
him
you,
more.
would you support his career in beatboxing?
Easy.
So when I think of like you guys are mentioning like sharp animal teeth,
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
made me think of that one meme where the guy's like, "Then I act like I don't know nobody" or something.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
fucking.
that.
Oh, what is it? I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh, first I blow up, and then I act like I don't know nobody.
People have weird grills. Crazy. Oh man, I like. How do people lose teeth? Like I don't know. I feel
What?
like I know everyone loses teeth
I mean,
eventually, but
yeah, it can be a number of things.
I know, but like, how is anyone okay with it? Like I feel like if I lost a
I
tooth, I'd be like, I'd fucking have a freak out or something. I'd fucking have a freak out.
I
My
had a
tooth was almost rotted out when I was a baby.
shit.
I could fully answer all of this for you if you want. If you actually want it answered.
Go ahead. How,
Are you ready for the answer, Justy?
how do you operate anymore? You know, now that you've lost a tooth or many teeth.
I was born. I'm going to tell you some background. I was born with a tumor that eats bone, and it was in my upper palate.
Yeah.
They didn't find it until I was 10. So at that point, I had to have a quarter of my teeth removed and then a shit ton of implants done.
Wait,
But
what kind of implants are we talking? Are we talking like the glue in the mouth kind, or are we talking like drilled into the jawbone?
we're talking about open up his face.
The drill?
So yeah,
The drilled one?
I mean, oh, you're talking about the tooth implants? Yes,
Yeah,
drill in
yeah.
the jawbone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm fine
Well, I
with
mean,
those.
I had to have bone implants too
Oh, gotcha.
before I could get into that. So that's why.
So you're a bionic man.
But-
That's what you're
Anyways, yeah. So I do have the drill in the bone on the top left of my mouth, but my teeth are constantly falling apart. And right now, I am missing a couple.
Oh,
Now, there's two factors on, and this is just like genetic. So if you got a pH strip, you could actually check how acidic is your mouth, because people overall are in like within a certain range, and then there's people like me. If I put one of those pH strips in my mouth, that like I am way beyond the normal spectrum of how acidic my saliva is. You could also have the calcium content in your saliva. I forgot what it's actually called in saliva. But I mean, so like I did a very deep, because I have like full dentist type of tools in my bathroom. Like I clean my teeth
Damn.
like fucking crazy, right?
yeah.
And I did a deep cleaning last night. Didn't eat anything. Woke up in the morning. I had some plaque buildup on the bottom of my front teeth. It doesn't make any sense, but it was there. And that's because when the saliva, so you're swallowing a lot while you're awake and everything, and that starts slowing down while you're asleep, and that saliva ends up sitting in your mouth. And I mean, that's why, people drool and stuff while they're sleeping too, because it all
Oh, I
ends up
drool so
sitting in
much.
their mouth. And then that will actually end up like doing a calcium solidifying type thing. What most dentists would just assume is solidified food, tartar buildup. Sometimes, and you could actually tell if you have an experienced surgeon / dentist, they could tell the difference, because it's really hard buildup and it's not the same thing. But the point being is that depending on genetics, you could have zero control on this shit, right?
Yeah.
And this shit is fucking painful. It hurts like a bitch. Like, I actually have a dentist appointment for 2 days from now on Thursday to get 2 of my teeth completely rebuilt. And I've been waiting for this appointment for a week. Week and a half. It's been a bit. So I had to schedule out, and I take Tylenol, I take Advil, and even still with 3 Tylenol and 3 Advil, I still feel pain through it, which is why I've been having edibles more often at night, is to help kill the pain on it. Like, so when the option is do you want to deal with this tooth over and over again? I've been saying yes a lot of points. A lot of times I have said, yes, fine, rebuild the tooth, which is what they're doing on Thursday with 2 of them. But there's a very big part of me that just wants to be like, carry them all the fuck out. I don't want to do it anymore. You know, I've been doing it for many years. Don't want to do it anymore.
You don't
So-
like your teeth because it's you. You like them because they don't hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And that's another thing is that there's when you get used to a constant pain, it's kind of like a ringing in your ear. You get used to it and you stop hearing it, even though it's there all the fucking time.
Oh, I have
If
it.
any of you have tinnitus, then you know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
Yeah. The constant ringing. I can only hear it at night.
yeah, but it's actually always there if you pay
Mhm.
if you pay enough attention and if you look for it. And it's the same thing with pain. You get used to certain levels of pain, and then like the more piercing stuff is what starts breaking through. And the problem is that as those tiers of pain of what you're getting used to at points, as that goes up, that pain, that's what I would call blinding pain. Because it just puts you in a fucking mental fog. Because you're blocking out the pain, but at the same time, it's still fucking there. You know, your brain is like,
You
you're doing
block it even
some
harder.
serious fucking rewiring to block that shit out. You know?
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Yeah, it gets
But-
crazy.
What about my
Anyways.
question? Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question?
You already answered the
you went out
question.
of freaking bibble babble. I
But
said,
the answer did like all of that was just answer the question.
oh, yeah, what was my
Was?
question, Fox, huh?
The fucking like, it's
How
not.
could you just not have, that's what it was. How could you just have a missing tooth and not have it taken care of?
Yeah. And
I just had all of
I
them.
didn't say anything like that.
How did you not?
You don't like it.
I said,
You
How
don't like
can-
it because it's you. You like it because it's not killing you.
how can people have
Yeah.
missing teeth and be okay with it?
Yeah, that's what he
Because
said.
There you go.
sometimes because sometimes I would rather have no teeth than
Gotta
to
live
be
with that
dealing
shit.
with the pain and all the frustration and the stupid shit that just my genetics keep saying.
How do you eat food
Fuck
then?
your mouth. I mean, I
With different teeth.
with
implanted.
implanted teeth, with fake teeth. I mean, if you're really
Crazy.
lazy, you could go for the blender, but I don't think most people do that.
Nah,
Man, it's crazy to
but I
think
could.
we're all gonna get to that point one day, probably. It's like,
If you don't take care of your teeth, or like if you got like shitty
Actually,
genetics, or
That might not happen.
I have
Yeah, mine-
They are
Oh god.
they are currently trialing a drug in Japan that makes a third set of teeth grow in.
what the fuck?
So just like as if you're a baby, it forms new teeth above your current ones, and then it pushes them all down. And even if there's one missing, it still triggers the same genes, and it pushes them all down. You get
Oh
a
my
full new set of
God.
teeth, and they're
All of
testing
my
that right now in
teeth
Japan.
losing nightmares, bro. They were all true.
Yeah, they're
I grew up
testing
like
that in
that.
Japan right now. So yeah, it's you might never deal with that type of issue of having missing teeth, other than I guess while you're regrowing them.
we're gonna be dead by then, okay? Let's be honest. It's like the worst fucking
Oh,
this is the worst fucking era to be alive, okay?
it's the middle era.
It's
Born-
it's,
When
it's
you
the
get to
worst
hear
and the
about
best.
all the good drugs, you get to hear about all the good drugs, but not experience any of them.
And all the good
All
technologies
of this
too.
Born
stuff will
fucking-
make you immune, live wonderfully, and so on, but you can't touch it yet.
born fucking
Yeah.
too late to explore the world, born too early to explore space, born just at
Yeah.
the right
Too
time
early
to
for the sex spots.
born just at the right time to look at
Know
weird
what skibbity
porn online, baby.
toilet is.
Yeah,
Oh,
to know
that's about the same thing.
skibbity
Fucking
toilet porn.
skibidi toilet, and we live for that. We just fucking
I may
dated
not
the.
have
the podcast.
exploration or space travel, but I've got the skibbity toilets.
Yeah, we
Holy
get
fuck,
to
man.
explore this skibidi toilet.
Yeah, you guys ever just think like you're growing up in the nothing era, you know? Like you're like, you know, there's
No,
all
because
these
things are always happening.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know, we're gonna be like the fucking it part of history in a book that's like, oh yeah,
We already lived through the birth of quantum computers, and nobody gave a fuck.
well, that's because they're not in everyone's pocket yet. Come on.
Yeah. Well, people
Only
were super
matters.
excited when like fucking astronauts went to the moon. I was like, oh my god! The all they did was just point and go and be amazed.
Oh,
They
you know
weren't
what I
part of
love?
it. They were just looking at it.
In the past, I think it was about like 14 years ago. Maybe not. But anyways, there's a very strong prevailing theory in the quantum physics that the universe is basically shaped like a donut.
Oh yeah, yeah. There is that.
You'd think that that would like
you mean a
Yeah,
Taurus?
that's
you'd think that
yeah.
would spread around, right? You'd think that everybody would know that
No,
shit,
I did, but like a meme. Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing as like fucking string theory. Ended up like this is the weirdest fucking thing because I thought for the longest time that just string theory was just the thing. It's like already accepted by everybody. Turns out it's just a fucking meme in the world of actual science, and people
Right.
don't even give too much credence to that.
Epic.
It's weird because I think be smart, but think not smart though.
Yeah, no.
I still
We're
have one of my
commoners.
baby teeth.
Still have
Yeah, what?
what?
Yeah, let me send an image. I'll show you.
Oh,
Something with your teeth? What did you say,
I'm
Retro?
sorry.
oh
I
yeah,
was
we were
looking
talking
I
about
at.
still have
teeth.
one of my baby teeth up there.
Oh,
Oh,
How does that make you feel? How does it affect your day-to-day life?
Not at all. I feel no pain from it. It's just it's just chilling there.
Do you think that's the thing that's keeping all that nostalgia in? Like, no, because
what?
that
if you
baby,
lose
What
the
a
tooth,
tooth?
you lose
yeah,
your good memories.
Oh my
because that baby
god!
tooth was there since the very beginning. It's kind of like it's infecting your mind. It's like, oh, I remember when you could just, oh, I don't know, come home from school, play Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 2, and then maybe get some good food.
Like it's like, dude. Well, I mean, I guess in that case, bad memories too.
You know
Because
what
like,
that?
oh, remember your crazy schizophrenic mother yelling all the time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
needs
beautiful memories from your childhood.
needs to be surgically
Well,
removed.
I'm not going to name the person, but you remember that person, Fox,
Mhm.
that joined that cult, and they believed that basically your memories were all in your hair, and if you
Oh.
cut your hair, you lose your memories. You
Yeah,
know who
yeah, I
I'm talking
remember
about,
that
right?
person. Yes, I know
That's what it
exactly what you're
reminds me
talking
of.
about.
It's just like, is that
Where
what we're
they
doing? You
the
lose a
the
body part, all
dead
the
pieces of
memories
you.
just go away.
You
You got a point.
cut your hair, maybe.
I think
Well, let's say hypothetically.
some objects do serve remembrance, but they don't hold memories. More of like,
Mm.
I've had this hair ever since I was a kid, but now that I've cut it, now it's a new stage of life, you know? But
It's a
just
kind
kind
of
of how it
Yeah,
is.
I mean the statement's supposed to be metaphorical, but the
I
cult
hope
that
it is.
this person joined, no, the cult that this person joined takes it literally. But they also believe that Jedis are real too.
Oh no!
Like they take like a lot of random shit and just like blob it together.
Oh
It's just
shit! I
that.
think I know about
It's
this
it's a
cult. There was
yeah.
a documentary on YouTube about that shit. Somebody that was trying to make fun of them, and he ended up making something that kind of half makes fun of them and like just follows the entire process that they go through to get indoctrinated in this cult.
Dude, I love cults. They're so like
Yeah,
they're
you
like
would.
well, it's because like they're the funny zany versions of like mainstream religion. It's like,
Organized religion.
well, it's true because it's in fucking Christianity's like, oh yeah,
It's even wilder because like this is for the people that think they're too smart for religion, but they're too stupid to think for themselves.
well, that's the thing though, is that like, are they stupid compared to like mainstream religion? Like, I'm gonna be honest, okay, say it right here,
I
right
would
now.
say, yeah, I would argue, yes.
I'm controversial, and I'm gonna say that I don't like religion. Okay, I think it's been holding us back as like cavemen, but I do recognize that there are some things in life where without religion we wouldn't really have any progress as humanity.
Yeah.
But I will say modern day, it's just kind of like stinking up
Yeah,
the place
modern
and all that.
society is a different beast.
Yeah, modern society has kind of like misconstrued a lot of its points and taken it in a much more literal sense than a
I get what you're
metaphorical
Literal
saying.
one.
and fucking twisted and like fucking twisted bop it and
Yeah. So when
fucking, I don't know.
when there's like a cult that's like, oh yeah, don't you know we all came from the fucking moon, bro. It's like, yeah, you're right. It's
It's
like,
like coming up with like wackier shit than like religion's ever come up with.
yeah, that's the thing.
And
Like,
religion does come up with like some crazy fucking stories, let me tell you.
yeah, well, it's like, dude, you know, why is it okay that we laugh at the fucking cult people who believe in like real life Jedi warriors, but we're not allowed to
Mhm.
fucking laugh at the people who think some guy fucking died and came back like a few days later in a cave. We turned fucking
Yeah,
water
just
to
respond.
wine. No,
Yeah.
listen, I'm sorry. I had
Yeah,
to.
what the fuck was the need to turn water into wine? Like, how's that? How does that make you a better person?
He was
Because
just showing off
I
his
wonder.
fucking dick.
because that time period was obsessed with alchemy,
Yeah,
and the main things
philosopher,
were
red, lost,
Turning
philosopher's stone.
elements one thing into another. Philosopher's
Philosopher's
stone.
fermentation was considered to be a form of alchemy.
Oh.
So there was an obsession because they thought that's alchemy was their day of science. That's what they
So they
thought
were
science
portraying him
was.
as smart.
So at the time, yeah, it was him being. It was, look, I know alchemy, and I could just whoop, do what you guys have always been wanting to do. Is what everybody in my time, the scientists, are doing. Look at me do it. You know,
Yeah.
so that's what it was supposed to be, and that's why, yes, it doesn't make any sense, but
Yeah, they
it
got
makes a
some
lot of
parts
sense because
cut
it's
off.
not, the story is written to really just appeal to the current people.
That
Yeah, it's kind of
motherfucker.
like that feels like a
So-
fucking JoJo episode where just presenting like the main character and it's like, look at how fucking big his dick is, like, and just
Bro.
twist, like,
I'm,
turn elements into different ones.
I'm pulling my fucking flesh off. It's bread now. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Eat my flesh,
he's doing his
motherfuckers.
fucking Bankai, fucking Hamon energy, and like his whatever the fuck spirit. What's the third season? The fuck. What's the power? Like the fucking JoJo power. What's the stand?
Stand?
Yeah, the fucking that's like look at fucking Jesus stand.
Okay, I'm gonna have
Standing
to.
the shit out of that wine.
I'm gonna have to do a big cutoff because it's about the end of the podcast. So we're gonna go ahead and read the Q&A, and then that'll be it. So this is for everybody, I suppose. And it's from Ben, good old Ben Killer.
Whoa.
Do you have any goals you want to achieve this year? Any changes you want to make to yourself? There you go. Who wants to answer first? Or I
I'll
can
let
answer.
somebody else.
Okay,
I'll let somebody else go first.
I'll do it
since-
first. Everyone else can calculate what their response is going to be in their brain.
I already have an answer.
Well, my turn. I have the stick, so
Yeah, go ahead. All right. I have
Uh,
the stick. Okay.
I have no goals I want to achieve besides getting the plantar warts on my right foot gone and being a little bit of a healthier boy. Maybe still 300 and something pounds, but at least a little bit healthier, please. What was the other one? Want to make any changes to yourself? Same question. That's literally boom. Just remove plantar
For
warts
one,
from right
baby.
foot. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I want in life. I'm a pretty
Mhm.
simple boy. I'm already
Oh,
the
man.
smartest person here, and go ahead.
I ain't even gonna deny it.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
This
next?
is truth.
We'll go.
You like to go, Fox?
I mean, since I already have an answer. Oh, fuck. So many goals, but not necessarily applied to this year. Get buff, get paid, get bitches. Well, no. Make enough money to fix my computer and go back to where I was, and then fucking get back into writing so I can write a good enough script to turn it into some comic or half animated, whatever the fuck, very ambitious project, or yeah, things that I've been planning, like, you know, like I said before, fucking 12, 14 years of trying to do this one thing, but it gets so ambitious and I never get it done. Yeah, that shit. Maybe this year, baby. I had a goal and already accomplished it to get like fucking accepted into a job that usually takes years for people to actually get. And I got it done in a month, but not because like big dick or anything. It's just because I happen to have the qualifications that they were looking for. Plus, they pay way less. That's a big contribution to that.
He's the,
Um,
the modern day
uh,
Jesus Christ. Look at him. He's so great.
look at me. Look at me. Well, I mean, this has been years in the making, like fucking 10 years of doing almost nothing and getting nothing done, and then the last few years has been like fucking achievements up the ass.
Finally get that big spark. I think that's good goals,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. That's me.
What was the first question?
Do you have any goals you'd like to accomplish this year?
Oh, okay. I thought it was all right. Yeah.
Okay. There's the second question of any changes you want to make to yourself as well.
I would like to get a 6-pack because I don't
fuck
have
this,
one.
baby. I
Um,
settle for just being buff, man.
I
I don't want a six pack
I want to
necessarily.
I want to get healthier.
Great.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
damn.
that's really my main thing.
I need to stop farting so much. Losing weight is a great way to do that.
Okay. Retrovid, anything you want to say for that question?
I don't really know if I have a goal necessarily. I guess more so just trying to continue to improve myself from the issues I've had in the past, because that's really all you can do.
I like that.
So there's not like one overriding goal. It's just, trying to make the best out of whatever situation I'm in.
Yeah. It's just the general wanting.
Guess I'll go.
Go ahead,
If
RedRage.
no one else is. Okay. Basically, the best way I could explain it is, and simplify it is, I just kind of want to get started with life. If you kind of understand what I mean, like get that money in, get started with whatever needs to be done, like whether it's saving away for a house or car or wherever else. Obviously, currently, I'm just trying to get a job, so.
I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good starting goal.
Yep.
And all those other ones, saving money for house and all that, I think those goals are what you truly must start to define, I suppose. Your
Yeah.
own time, of course. Yeah, I think they're good. Good, concise goals, everybody. Nice.
Yeah.
Concise.
Concise.
Concise. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I word good, but
Yeah,
thanks.
you're the podcaster after all.
Yeah, I'm the podcast boy. I'm the smartest man alive.
The
But
smartest man alive.
thank you all you boys for tuning in. It's been a good time, I think.
Yeah, that's us. We're the boys.
We talked about a lot of good stuff, and I still think there's a lot to touch on with each and every one of you. Sounds like you still all have deeper seated issues that I can exploit.
He said. Fucking thank you, dude.
Well, that's how the psychologists get you to come back. They're like, well, I think you're doing good progress, but there's still some things we'd like to, what we should go over.
Better.
So I'll see you guys next time for your next visitation with. But yeah,
Way to
thanks.
come back to Dr. Jesse's office.
Yeah, Dr. Justy's office where we talk about,
The flesh room. It's very
SpongeBob
slimy in here.
SquareNuts.
talk about
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquareNuts, talk about teeth being removed,
And growing back.
installed, grown back in Japan.
Yeah,
all the good stuff.
Japanese growing back teeth.
But yeah,
Oh, when they grow back, do they do the fucking anime noise? They go like, "Oh,
they're like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, where it's like a row of teeth that come back.
ew."
Be hot.
Disgusting.
But okay. Thanks everyone for listening. I love you all. Toodaloo and bye-bye.
Bye.